year, I believe. He impressed us all the way he went through the Competent Communicator Manual, and he's a very gifted speaker, so I'm happy to call on Steve Brown to come into our
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed reading some of the things that I'm doing in this book. I'm doing storytelling. I told my first story last meeting, and this time it's on a personal story. Now you're probably thinking, what have I got to tell a personal story about? I'm 43 years old. I've been a short order cook. I've worked in a movie store. I have done been in police work. I've been in law enforcement. I've been in the military. I've been in IT. I've been in home business. I've worked for my mother. I've worked for my father. I've worked with my brother. I've worked for people that I don't even really want to think about. So this entire life of 43 years, what am I going to talk about? Well, 16 years old, it had snowed really bad. And it was late February. And at the time, I worked at a place called Druther's. Anybody? Any of the Druthers? Okay, there's a couple. The old people. Anyway, Morgantown, Kentucky had a Druther's. And I was a cook there. And I worked at night because I was a student. Again, 16 years old. I had been working there for maybe about a little bit less than a year. So my mother also worked there. She was a manager. She worked during the day. I worked at night. Worked out very well for us. However, this day, big snow came, ice everywhere. They called off school. Mom and I came into the restaurant because we could make it together because we lived together. Two birds with one stone. We get there. Her and one of the girls working up front. Morgantown shut down. Ice everywhere, snows everywhere. We actually made it in. And me and an old guy, and I say old because, again, I'm 16 years old. All my memories of this guy are that he's old. And I can probably tell stories about this guy, too. But this isn't about his problems. It's about what I ran into. And so I'd say the guy was maybe in his early 40s. Again, now he's a young guy. At the time, I thought he was old. So Daryl is there. He's working, he's doing stuff. They decide, about 11:30, it's getting worse. They're getting more snow, we're getting more ice. We're closing the place down. Nobody's been in there. Steve, you clean. Daryl handle all the orders. Hey, no problem. Easy, no problem. Clothes, I know how to do this, no problem. So I get all my stuff together, and have you ever seen the three burner, or the three fryer, three things, you work at a fast food restaurant, you got the fryers. And you put the fries in, drop the basket, done. Well, we have to pull everything away from the wall because we have to clean all the stainless steel because that's where all the smoke goes up and all the grease and everything. Grease traps. So I have to pull everything back to clean behind them. This was an old restaurant. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. So when I go over and I pull out the 3-dish frying pan, and I pull it out, and the front wheels pull out, and the screws rip out from underneath it when I'm pulling forward, and the front wheels smash, and all the grease dumps onto my forearms. Thankfully, it had been off for a few minutes, so it wasn't totally in cooking mode. But I also had an apron covering part of my arm. And so I had burns running up through both forearms. Now, when this happens, I've been prideful of the fact that if something bad hits the fan, I'm the guy that keeps us cool. I don't panic, I don't stress out, I don't sit around the corner and cry and scream. So this happens, boom, splash. I've got grease, it's burning, it's hot. I run to the back, cold water down both arms and on my front. for me. Because Daryl now has grease on his floor and he don't know where it came from. So obviously, I'm almost in a panic at that point because I'm thinking, I'm burning. I literally am burning. And so I'm like, I'm fried up. Just like that. I'm fried up. So anyway, they go into a tizzy. They realize what's going on. They come back and you can literally start seeing the burns and the whelps and the blisters start appearing on my arm, even though I'm running into the cold water, getting all the grease off, trying to get it covered. So my mother starts, we gotta go. Starts pulling me out, getting off the apron, but she's pulling me outside to get to the car because obviously I need to go to the doctor. It's pretty bad. And the whole time I'm the one telling her to calm down and her to relax. And needless to say, it made for a very interesting snow day. And so for the next 2 weeks, I had bandages up both arms and was seeing Dr. Juan, who was our local doctor in the area, for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I was very fortunate. They said that I did not have as bad a burn as they thought. They were thinking, it's third degree and you're going to have scars. Thankfully, I did not. Obviously, I'm fine. But therefore, about 5 to 6 years afterwards, in the summertime, you could actually watch discoloration in my arms because the skin would affect by the heat. And so the hotter, the more humid it got, you could actually see my arms. Or see my marks on the arms, not my arm. So that is a mild story of something from my life. Take it for what you will.
Trust your audience. Your audience